Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, my name is Ahmad Farhan. I'm from Public Speaking for a Hamka University. Today, I will tell you about concept in public speaking. Okay, let's we get started. This is the table of contents. First is public speaking concept and definition. Second is tips and trick. And the last is do and done. Okay, let's we move to the first content. Public speaking concept and skill for diverse society equips you with the training and tools to be an effective public speaker and listener in a world of constant cultural, political, and technological change, giving you a heightened awareness of and sensitivity to your audience. Discussion of classic public speaking topics are grounded in an awareness of the impact of cultural nuances ranging from gender difference to cultures within the United States to the tradition of other nations. Public speaking is the act or skill of speaking to a large group of people. Public speaking is a continuous process of communication in which messages and symbols are constantly interacting between speakers and their listeners. Public speaking is a family of communication science. Okay, let's be next. The second topic is the tips and tricks. Okay, the first tips and tricks is engage your audience member. Hook them from the outside by starting with an interesting fact, a challenging question, or an intriguing statement. Encourage your audience to participate by asking a question that gets people thinking and that's hard not to respond to. And the next tips is practice and review. Do a practice in front of small supportive audience and ask for feedback and record or film your sessions so you can see your strength and weakness for yourself and hone your skills. Next tips is think positively. Before you deliver your speech, get yourself into the right mindset by thinking positively. Banish any negative self-talk by using affirmation. Visualize yourself giving a successful speech. And next is cope with nervous. A natural reaction to the fear of public speaking is the flight, fight, or freeze response. But you can lessen its hold on you. Focus on your audience is going to gain from your talk rather than on how you're feeling, and take slow, deep breaths before you begin. Force yourself to slow down. And the last tips is pay attention to your body language. Don't be afraid to pause and gather your thoughts. You will appear more relaxed and confident by not charging on a panic. You look particularly confident if you're standing up straight, looking people in the eye and smiling. Okay, let's be next to the last content is do and done in public speaking. The first done is don't ramble and get long-winded. Anytime a speaker is disorganized and weaves all around and very hard to follow what he or she is talking about. What you have to do is give a nice, organized, and concise message. That means you have to take the time beforehand when you're preparing to create a nice introduction. Body and conclusion. Make sure you have clear main points and there's a transition statement between each main point. Your audience is really going to appreciate an orderly presentation of your ideas. And it's much more likely that they will remember what you said. And really, that's the whole point of speaking to them in the first place. Okay, the next don't and do is don't bad eye contact. Don't do the bad eye contact. Don't look with your eyes in the wrong place. You want to not look over people's hands or not look at the floor and not stare at the ceiling or scan around your head. But you have to do is direct eye contact. Look directly into a person's eye long enough to finish a task and then move on and look directly into the next person's eyes long enough to finish a task. One task, one look, in other words. About a sentence or a half sentence and then move on to the next person. This is very difficult to do if you're not used to it. It can feel very awkward looking right into someone's eyes, but you have to gear up for this because that's what audience want. We want people to connect with this if you're not looking into our eyes and making us feel like we're part of this, then you're not going to have much of an impact. Okay, next is don't clutter notes. Don't clutter up all your notes with too many details. A lot of times we're tempted to jam our notes of our PowerPoints with everything we want to say. But the result is when we're nervous in the moment, we end up just looking into our notes and looking down the whole time and reading and sounding really stiff. Really wouldn't, and you're not going to again contact with people. What you have to do is simplify notes. Simplified notes is pare down your notes so that you can just have a conversational style with your audience. And again, as your practitioner, you have to whittle down those notes so that all you have is like talking points, like a little grocery list of items that you're going to talk about. And it almost forces you, or at least frees you, to connect with people, to look up and to have a nice normal conversation with them in your natural personality. The next down is complex slides. Don't want to load up your slide with all complicated animations and text. And one of the reasons is you don't want to stare at it and read from it. The other reason is that it's very hard to follow what's going on if your slides are jam-packed with the detail. But what you have to do is do a simple slide. Is to make sure your slides are nice and clear and simple and help you make whatever point you're making in that particular moment. A rule of thumb that I like to use is if you're spending more than about 2 or 3 minutes on each PowerPoint slide, then you're probably wasting your time, and I don't recommend using more than a couple of slides for a presentation anyway if you're a beginner, because people tend to over rely on the slides and load up each single slide with way too much. And the next don't is don't fidget. Don't fidget with your hands. Don't fidget with your feet. Don't pace back and forth aimlessly because you're nervous. And what you have to do is do the confident posture, and gesture. Have nice confident posture where you stand in one place for a little while, and then if you want to move with a purpose, move. Stand in one another place for a while, and then share another part of your message. Move for the purpose, stand still, share some of your message. Don't just pace, have nice confident posture. Same thing with your hands. You want to use gesture and emphasize your ideas with your hand. You don't want to fidget and put them in your pocket or play with a pen or do anything else weird or distracting like that. That's a big part of how you come across non-verbally. And the last don't and do is how you use your voice. What you don't want to do is speak too softly. Use a lot of fillers like and and so. And what you have to do is confident loud voices with pause. Have a confident voice where you speak loud like to the back of the room with a nice clear volume. Aim for the back of the room because just think about it. You have to reach those people. The other thing you want to do is emphasize your keywords with the sound of your voice and also pause after you share a key idea or a key thought. Pause for a minute silently. Don't fill out with or oh and anything else. The pause is much more effective. The more you speak in front of others, the better you'll be at it. So be sure to take up opportunities to deliver presentation or others meeting rather than avoiding them. If you do, you'll likely enhance your reputation and you could earn your self-recognition or a promotion. Maybe that's all I can say. Sorry if there are wrong words because the error comes from me and perfections belong only to Allah. A great speaker is not he who has 1,000 moves but never practice it. A great speaker is who has one skill but practice it 1,000 times. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.